Hey guys, what's up? This is LJS here, and today I am back from a request that some of you want this deck profile. So today I have a deck profile of my friend here.
Hi.
Should we give you a nickname or should we say a name?
K.
Okay, just call him K. My friend K, his Gurguit deck. Yes, so this is the one that you saw in the match video versus the Sanctuary Guard Dragon, and I think some other videos, I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyway, so this is the Gurguit, and it's Japanese because my friend plays Japanese. And so with the help of a laptop, I'm gonna give you guys the English version. So this deck, yes, it's Japanese, but all the cards in here are available in English as well. So if you want to make it in English, you can make it as well. So it's not a problem. Anyway, so this is his Gurguit deck, which is pretty insane, I'd say. Even though he says it's made for fun or it's pretty bleh, but I think it's facing it, I realize it's actually pretty strong. Although one weakness of the deck is that if you do not write Gurguit, things just doesn't really work too well. So Gurguit is your key, grade 3. So of course I run 4. But let's get to the starter first, shall we? Starter. He runs. What's his name?
Rising Lioness.
Rising Lionette. Yes, Japanese. Rising Lionette forever there, whatever. His skill is Generation Break 1. So when you call something from the deck, put him in the soul, and you give that unit that you call 5k. And the unit that you call has a skill of when an attack hits, counter +1, search your top 3 cards from the deck and call a unit out, and then shuffle your deck. So basically, he is sort of a way to cycle himself out into a number 1, an extra 5k to your regret, and number 2, an extra pressure so that your opponent would want to guard so that you do not get to call another unit out. So yeah, so it's a -1 for a soft +1 and an almost +1 as well. So yeah, pretty good card, I guess. Pressure card, and really it's really pressuring, you know. Against whenever I fight against him and he uses his skill, I'm like, darn, I must guard it. So I end up wasting a lot of cards, which depends on the situation, might not be the best course of action. Next for grade 3, run 4, Gurguit, of course, because Gurguit is your main grade 3. So he's a very interesting skill. So his first skill is the break strike skill.
Yeah.
Basically, when you strike over him, counter +1, then you look at the top 4 cards of the deck, call one out to Rearguard Circle, top of the deck, and that unit gains 2k. So basically, it's a good way to gain pluses really easily, and it's a good way to combo with another of the strike, which I'll explain later, which I think is Scourge Point Dragon, which I'll explain later. And his Generation Break 2 skill is very interesting. It's a very you know a lot of clans nowadays, they have cards that have guard restrictions. Basically, they prevent you from guarding with perfect guard, prevent you from guarding with your hand, prevent you from doing guarding basically. But his Generation Break 2 skill sort of works around that. So the skill is at the beginning of your guard step, basically, when your Vanguard is attacked, basically when he is attacked, you can counter +1 and soul +1. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck, look for 1 card from them, and call it to Guardian Circle as rest and shuffle your deck. So if you check the top 4 cards and you find a perfect guard, you can perfect guard. So for example, a perfect guard, you can perfect guard. So basically, you know, if you're up against cards like if you're up against, for example, if you're up against Diablo, right, you can still guard with his skill, because even though Diablo says you cannot guard from your hand, you can say, oh sure, I won't get from my hand, I'll just use this guy and guard. Yeah, sure. Of course, it may not be the best idea, but anyways, yeah. So if you search a perfect guard, there you go. You perfect guard Diablo, and you don't have to retire your rear guards. Or if you're up against Ragnar Clock Dragon, you can also use his skill and perfect guard Ragnar Clock Dragon. Oh no, Ragnar Clock only blocks grade 0. Yeah, sure. Anyways, yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
So any deck, basically any card that has guard restrictions, basically he can work around it. So it's a pretty good card. Next for the grade 3, he runs 3 Palamedes. So his skill is the first one, the non-limit break one, which is the bottom one. When
this unit is placed on the rear guard.
Oh wait, no, yeah. So never mind. Let's look at the limit break 4 skill. Okay. So limit break 4 skill is a Vanguard skill, which you won't actually use it because you ideally do not want to write him, because what you want to do is use his second skill, which is amazing. But anyways, basically when this unit attacks, you can put 2 Gold Paladin at the bottom of the deck. If you do, you can look at the 2.
No.
Choose 2 rear guards, 2 units. Sorry, 2 Gold Paladin units, and again 5k. So basically when he attacks, you can put 2 back of your deck, bottom of your deck, and any two things on your field gains 5k. So basically it's a -2 for a soft +2, which, well, you probably won't use that skill because, yeah. But his second skill is what you use it for. Basically, when he is placed on a rearguard circle from your deck, choose a card from your hand and discard it. Basically, a Gold Paladin from your hand, discard it. And if your opponent has a grade 2 or greater Vanguard, you can ride him. Yeah, so it's essentially a restander. So basically, if you have Gurguit or whatever, and let's say he attacks, and during battle phase, because right now you can do it in the battle phase as well. When you call him from deck in battle phase, oh look, I can discard a card, ride him a stand, I get another Twin Drive, yay! So it's similar to the new sweep command gimmick in my sweep command deck. If you guys check it out, basically nowadays there's more reliable ways of getting calls from your deck during your battle phase, so that you can abuse cards like this that you can allow them to restand during your battle phase. So yeah, which I'll talk about later. There's some key cards that allow you to do this in the battle phase. And lastly, for the grade 3, he runs this old grandpa guy with a mustache. He looks really weird, like I'm an old guy. His name is Danal, Veteran Knight. So his skill is Generation Break 1. Yep, Generation Break 1. So when this unit attack hits, it's basically, do take note, it's on the Vanguard and the Rearguard. So it's a Vanguard or Rearguard skill, which is pretty good, pretty decent, pretty versatile. Yeah, so basically when it attacks and it hits a Vanguard, you can counter +1. If you do look at the top 4 cards of the deck and call a unit to RC and shuffle your deck. So yeah, it's on hit, call. Pretty good, I guess. Pretty flexible. That's why he runs 1, I guess. Then grade 2, he runs. Is this SP? No, SP.
No, no.
Oh, it's not SP, never mind. He runs the Generation Break 2 Emperor Clone guy, which is Holy Mage Whale. So this guy's skill is Generation Break 1. When he attacks the Vanguard, if he is boosted, counter +1. If you do, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and choose one, call it to RC, and then shuffle your deck. Put the rest back in your deck and shuffle your deck. So yeah, so this is one of those cards you can enable to combo with Palamedes. So imagine you have your Vanguard attacks, and then you use him, and then you boost him, and let's just say your top 3. Oh, look, I found a Palamedes. Call him out, discard a card, ride him, and you can swing again for another 2 drive checks. Amazing stuff. Although one weakness is that Palamedes is 10k base, so yeah, some of your opponents may be able to abuse that. So that's 4 of him, and these sleeves are triple sleeves, so yeah. Next, for the grade 2, he runs this guy, Lock Ear Shooter. So this is a really old card from set 7, but it's a pretty useful card, I guess. So basically, when this card is placed on your rearguard circle from your deck, basically if you call him, if you superior call him from the deck, you can choose a card from your hand and discard it. If you do, look at the top 3 cards of the deck and search for a Gold Paladin and call it to rearguard circle as well, and then put the rest at the bottom of your deck. So far everything is shuffle your deck after you call. His skill is after you call, put at the bottom of the deck. So basically you stack your deck. But it doesn't really matter because a lot of things shuffle anyways. So yeah, he's very, very useful early game because if your hands are full of triggers or units you don't want to call, early game if you manage to superior call him, you can just swap it out for hopefully something that can attack or boost. So you just basically shuffle your deck. And one of the combos that my friend used with Scourge Point is normally he calls it out, he gains power, and calls something else somewhere else and again power. So you basically chain superior call things and your whole fields get huge on like turn 3 or 4, and it's really annoying to deal with. It's so powerful. If you guys want to see how it works, check it out in the match video of this deck, Gurguit versus Sanctuary Guard, and you'll see it in action in its all its glory and gold powerfulness and yeah, annoyingness. Next, he runs 3 of this guy, Mage of Calamity, Trip. So she trips, she falls down. Not kidding. So she is the grade 2, 9k base. So if the attack hits a Vanguard, flip damage. So her skill is activatable on Vanguard circle and Rearguard circle. So basically, if it hits, you can flip damage. So basically, she is an unflipper because this deck can be quite counterblast heavy. So you want to have some unflipping engine happening. And lastly, he runs one of this guy named Farm Gal, 8k base, but it's pretty good skill. So Generation Break 1. When this unit is placed from your deck, basically when you superior call from your deck, you can then look at the top 3 cards from your deck and superior call one of them and shuffle your deck. So basically it's very similar to Lock Ear Shooter. The only difference is number 1, the power line is different. Number 2,
No cost.
This is generation break 1. And number 3, this one has cost and this one has no cost.
Yeah.
So it's
Number
basically...
4, stacks and shuffle.
Oh yeah, number 4, this guy stacks, this guy shuffles. So yeah, but basically it's a generation break 1 version of Lapia Shooter, sort of. And he runs 1 because it's only very useful sort of late game because after you strike. So yeah, you can't really use him that early. Yeah, I guess. But anyways, yeah.
No, this deck.
This deck, yeah.
Works in
this deck, yeah, this
strikes
deck
anyway.
Yeah, so yeah, he's like as
But,
he says, this deck focuses on generation break.
Yeah, but because of the 1k power in difference, I couldn't make the power line that I want. So which is why I run more Lobbier instead of Vanguard.
Yes, what he said. Basically, power 8k base is a bit weak because sometimes you can't really make good columns. So 9k base is good. Anyways, next he runs 4 Perfect Guard. Basically, this is the old one, not GPG. Okay, do take note. For those of you who do not know, Perfect Guards it just says when it is placed on your Guardian Circle, discard a card and you basically Perfect Guard. However, for those of you who didn't notice, GPGs specifically states when this unit is placed from your hand, then you can Perfect Guard. So if for Gurguit skill says that you're calling a Guardian from your deck. So you will definitely want Perfect Guards that can be activated from your deck as well. So therefore, I repeat, do not run GPGs if you want to Perfect Guard from Gurguit skill. Yes, okay, so anyways, yeah, Perfect Guards. Self-explanatory, run 4, of course. Next, he runs 4 Stride Fodder, I forgot his name,
Something like
something. Basically, his skill is, the first one is also a very key skill. When you call him, you can reveal a grade 3 from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a Gurguit, put it to your hand, and then you discard a card. So he is useful, number 1, because as I mentioned earlier, this deck is very heavily reliant on Gurguit. So if you don't have Gurguit, this deck doesn't really work well as well. So you definitely want to have him out early to hopefully search your deck for Gurguit and write into Gurguit. And his second skill is when you discard him for Stride, he becomes a grade 3. Basically, yeah, discard fodder for Stride. And next he runs 3 Slay Me. Funny name, I don't know why he called Slay Me because it sounds like kill me please, slay me. Okay, anyways, his 6k base grade 1, so a bit on the slightly weaker side, but it's fine. His skill is generation break 1. Retire him. Okay, at the beginning of your guard step, basically when you want to guard, retire him. And then if you do look at the top 4, top 3 cards of your deck. Oh no, if you have 3 or more rear guards. Okay, there's another requirement. So there's 2 requirements. Firstly is that your Vanguard is attacked. Secondly, if you have 3 or more rear guards, retire him. And then you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, search for a card, call it to Guardian Circle as rest, and shuffle your deck. So same reasoning as Gurguit. You want to use him to hopefully pull your Perfect Guard if you really need it. So run normal Perfect Guards because then you can guard with Perfect Guards. Next. So yeah, he is more for a defensive play style, which is pretty cool because Gurguit is defensive, so running both of them is useful. Next, he runs 3 of the Cool Girl. So cool, man. You have Farm Girl, you have Cool Girl. One farm, one is cooling. Anyways, he's a grade 1, 6k base, generation break 1. When he is placed on your rearguard circle from your deck, draw a card. Costless, just superior call, draw a card. What? He just free draws. Next for triggers, he runs 6 criticals. Yeah. And he runs 2 Liberator Catch Girl. Is it? Yeah, Catch Girl. His skill is basically when you superior call him, you get to retry. Basically, what happens is that if you superior call him from the deck, put him at the bottom of the deck, and then you search for a top 3 and superior call another one, and then shuffle your deck. Yep, okay. So basically, it allows you to retry. Ding 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 ding. So it's like when you do a lottery, you can retry again. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't mind, you cannot call himself again.
Oh yeah. So basically when you retry, you cannot call himself. You must call something else. So you can't retry twice. You might only retry once, and that's it. My bad. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Next, 4 of this very weird art. And honestly, I find he's so weird. It's like holding a bell.
I don't like
I will whack you with a bell.
I really don't like his art.
Okay, so his name is
awesome.
Gigantech Ringer. I guess it makes sense. Like he's ringing a bell. Like what? I guess he's ringing a bell to call things out. I guess.
Really
okay, basically, when he's on his skill is generation break 1. So when he's on the field, if you superior call something from a deck, for example like this guy, you can then put him at the top of the deck, right?
Yep.
No, bottom of the deck.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, put him at the top of the deck. The unit you call gains 5k. Shuffle your deck and then draw a card. So basically, he is really good because number one, he's a stand trigger, and that goes back into your deck, which means you can reuse the stand trigger again and again. So basically, he's stacking triggers back to your deck. Number two, you draw a card. Number three, you give 5k to something that is called from the deck, which is like basically a +2. Well, not really. Basically it's a +1 because you get a 5k extra power and you swap him out for another card into your hand, which is pretty good. So yeah, run 4 of him. So this is a stand and critical focus deck, and the thing is, this guy you can draw cards. This guy you can swap him out for another card. So there isn't really any need to run draw triggers in this deck, so it's fine. And lastly, run 4 heals. Of course, the nice, awesome. Ooh, she's pretty.
Yes.
Quite cute. Yeah. And next, you can go to Stride. We have 4 minutes left on the clock. Oh my gosh, this is taking forever. But this is a really interesting deck. So next, we go for Stride. So the main star of this deck is Scourge Point Dragon. So if you guys have watched the video, the match versus Sanctuary Guard and whatever, you would have noticed that Scourge Point Dragon does amazing stuff. His skill is basically, when something is superior card from the deck, that unit and him gains 5k. So imagine when you strike on the turn you first strike with Gurguit. Let's say you call Lob Ear, 5k here, and Lob Ear skill call again. Whatever comes out, let's just say you call this guy, 5k. Now that is 4 5ks on that turn for free. It's like, what? And just imagine you chain more superior call. Let's say you somehow Lob Ear change into another Lob Ear. That's 5k. Then Lob Ear changes into, let's say it goes into Catch Gull, the doggy. Yes, Catch Gull. Now 5k. You would retry again. Let's say you get the great one. Slay me, 5k. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 5ks. And this is going to be super powerful turn 3 or 4. Imagine trying to guard against that, you'll be so far behind. So yeah, Scourge Point Dragon, really good. 4 of him. Next, he runs 2 Campbell. Yep, Campbell Soup. So basically his skill is basically when he hits, you can look at the top 5 cards of the deck, superior call one thing, and it gains 2k until end of turn.
Yeah, and then shuffle.
And shuffle the deck. So basically he is useful, I guess. I don't know.
You don't need to call so much, or you don't need so much pressure at the beginning.
Yeah, so basically Scourge Point, if you want to pressure, strike him. Or if you want something to let's say your field is pretty much set and you just want something to a small pressure, then strike him. So yeah. And also Scourge Point also works very well with this guy. So when you attacks, you can superior call again and they give 5k everywhere. Oh my gosh, so annoying. This guy is so annoying. And lastly, he runs 2 Holy Dragon, Golden Dragon, Spear Craft Dragon. This skill is only useful when you really need to. He's only useful late game if you're facing against burning decks, because let's say So his skill is a bit hard to use, I guess. Counter Blast 2, so it's quite hefty a cost. Persona Flip himself. If the number of face-up G units in your G zone is 2 or more. Oh no, when you strike,
placed on VG.
Okay, basically when you strike him and you have a face-up G unit in your G zone already, so he has to be your second or later strike. Counter Blast 2, Persona Flip, and then look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Search for 1 card from them for each face-up card in your G zone and call them to separate Graveyard Circle. So if he is your second strike, and then use the skill, you have 2 face-up units, you can call 2 from the top 5, which isn't very good. But late game, if you're facing against like Kagero, and let's say you have 4 face-up G units and use him, you have 5 face-up G units in your G zone, Counter Blast 2, call 5. Very good, I guess. Although it's a bit random, but at least you get your field back against a burning deck, which will probably be out of steam already. So
provided you still have enough Counter Blast.
Yeah, provided you have enough Counter Blast, because it's Counter Blast 2, which is quite heavy. So if you use her skill a lot and unflip, then it's useful. So yeah, so this is my friend's Gold Paladin deck profile. Hope you guys like it. This is a bit of a long-ish video. And thanks for watching. If you guys like it, thumbs up. If you like my content, do subscribe. And do check out the video of him against Sanctuary Guard Dragon if you want to see how it works. It is a really interesting deck. And this has been LJS. And I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.